Howdy! Welcome to Cryptid Caravans. We're hauling in new monsters all the time. You caught me in the middle of digging a pit trap for today's creature. A little furball that can be seen all across bars and honky-tonks in the West. Talking about a jackalope. What? Just because it's not some big, crazy, scary monster don't make it any less mystical.
Jackalopes have been sighted all across the western United States, from Nebraska to New Mexico.
Now, I shouldn't have to explain what a jackalope is to y'all, but just for you city slickers out there.
It's a standard-looking desert hare, but with a set of deer antlers on its head.
The term jackalope being a mix of the names jackrabbit and antelope, even though the antelope has
Horns more like a goat's, not deer antlers.
Tales of horned hares go even farther back than the American West. Why, in medieval German folklore,
they have their own version of jackalopes that wanders the forests of Bavaria.
Of course, they don't call it a jackalope. It's got some fun German name, the Wuppertinger.
And it comes with pheasant wings, meaning it can fly.
Forget flying pigs. Just imagine flying bunnies.
But there's no mentioned connection between the legends of German Wuppertings and American jackalopes. The legend closer to home comes from the ancient culture of the Huichol people who reside south of the border. In their legend, the horned rabbit was a mythical being, which is responsible for the deer having their antlers.
And deer hunters everywhere thanked him for creating the 12-pointer.
The deer and rabbit were seen as brothers of sun and moon in Mesoamerican calendars.
Jackalope would be spotted years later throughout all the West. Cowboys would claim to see the horned hares, or even hear them singing along to their campfire songs.
And they best not approach one, as they were violent little snouts. Provoking one can land you with a bloody leg.
I'm trying really hard not to make the Monty Python joke.
Hunters back then were encouraged to wear stovepipes on their legs as an armor against their vicious attack. If you want to capture one of these critters, leave an offering of its favorite drink, whiskey.
I've been looking for a drinking buddy. The jackalope would cement its spot in history in 1932.
In Douglas, Wyoming, lived Douglas Herrick, a hunter and amateur taxidermist. Returning from a hunting trip with his brother, Herrick tossed a rabbit carcass on the floor of his shop, which landed next to a set of deer antlers.
Well, first it landed next to a rooster comb. That just kind of turned out weird.
With this ideal, the Herrick brothers produced their first jackalope trophy, which was sold to a local hotel owner for the steep price of $10.
Want one of those today, you gotta pay about 10 times that price.
The town of Douglas took to being the home of the jackalope, building a statue in their town square, hosting a yearly jackalope festival, and issuing hunting license for tourists.
Hey, I got a license for this trap.
Heck, until the population boom in the 70s, due to new discoveries of coal and natural gas deposits, jackalopes were Douglas's main export. But Herrick didn't stay in the business of jackalope taxidermy for long. In the late 80s, Frank English of Rapid City, South Dakota, started making the trinkets and has become the official provider for Cabela's.
The jackalope has spread from the town of Douglas and into the American folklore.
Wyoming uses the jackalope as the mascot for its lottery. And in the media world, jackalopes have found themselves in TV shows such as America's Funniest People, which portrayed the jackalope as a trickster, a Pixar short, Boundin', featuring a singing jackalope as its lead character. It's used to sell Lunchables to kids.
Tasty.
Video games feature the little critter too. You can hunt him down in Red Dead Redemption.
I bet he didn't have a license.
And his German cousin, the Wupperting, appears in The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine.
Now, what inspired these tales of horned hares from the plains of Wyoming over to the forests of Germany? Well, I'm sure some of that good whiskey helped, but the scientists have a better explanation.
There's a virus known as Shope papilloma, which affects hares. Those affected develop tumorous growths on their faces and head. A wandering cowboy might have spotted one of these diseased rabbits and mistaken the growths for a pair of horns.
Whatever they may have seen or not seen, the jackalope has become a pop icon, and it ain't leaving the American consciousness anytime soon. So, Whether it's a Mexican mythical creature, or a diseased rabbit, or a singing hare, well, I can't say. I've just given you the history. You decide for yourself. Come here, Mr. Jackalope. Come on.